Greek civilization, the basis of Western civilization. Ancient Greece is often considered the birthplace of Western civilization. Over 2,500 years ago, the ancient Greeks made tremendous contributions to the fields of government, philosophy, science, and art. Ancient Greek citizens established the world's first democracies. Greek philosophers and scientists sought to explain the world around them through careful observations of nature and logical progressions of thought. Writers and artists emphasized human personalities and emotions. The ideas and achievements of the ancient Greeks laid the foundations for Western society. Greek civilization developed in city-states. These consisted of a city or town and the surrounding villages and farmlands. Most city-states formed oligarchic governments, which were ruled by a small group of wealthy and powerful men. Around 500 BCE, however, some city-states began to assume democratic principles. They allowed citizens, with the exclusion of women and slaves, to vote on political policies and run for office. In the 400s BCE, the city of Athens became the exemplary democracy of ancient Greece. Elected male citizens made up a ruling assembly, which selected Athenian generals and voted on bills prepared by a 500-member council. Under this system, every voting citizen, whether rich or poor, shared equal opportunity to affect political policies. Around the time that democratic ideals were being put into practice, philosophy was emerging as a field of intellectual inquiry. Ancient Greek philosophers attempted to explain human existence and behavior through logical reasoning and critical analysis. They questioned the nature of knowledge and reality and debated notions of ethical behavior. Of all the Greek philosophers, Socrates, Aristotle, and Plato are considered the most influential. Socrates developed a method of inquiry known as the Socratic method. Using this, two speakers defend their viewpoints with a series of questions. The purpose is to flush out the weaknesses and contradictions of either argument. Plato wrote about Socrates' life and philosophical practices. He then developed his own ideas on human nature, sexuality, love, religion, justice, virtue, politics, and many other subjects. In addition, Plato founded and taught at the Academy of Athens. This famous school served as the first institution of higher learning in the Western world. There, young scholars studied law, medicine, philosophy, and public speaking. Aristotle was Plato's most brilliant student. He wrote on diverse subjects, including physics, poetry, biology, logic, government, and ethics. He established philosophical methodologies that would be practiced for the next 2,000 years. The scientists of ancient Greece thought about knowledge in much the same way as the ancient Greek philosophers. Not only did scientists believe that the universe operated according to mathematical and physical laws, but they considered these laws to be discernible through the careful observation of nature and the application of logic. They thought that all knowledge was accessible with human reason. Their contributions to medicine, physics, biology, and mathematics formed the basis of modern science. In addition, many Greek scientists formulated theories that anticipated modern scientific discoveries. Around 400 BCE, for example, the ancient Greek scientist Democritus proposed that all matter was made up of indivisible elements. He called these elements atomos, from which the English word atom originated. The ancient Greeks were also extraordinary architects, sculptors, painters, and writers. Greek architecture upheld the ideals of beauty and harmony through the use of symmetry and the careful arrangement of columns and arches. Greek sculptors portrayed gods as well as humans with lifelike features and proportions. Although few Greek paintings have survived from ancient times, they depicted scenes from mythology and daily life and evoked strong emotions and realistic images. The ancient Greeks also contributed much to the development of Western literature. Greek writers introduced, for example, several literary forms still studied today, including epic and lyric poetry, history, tragedy, and comedy. The most famous Greek epics are the Iliad and the Odyssey, which told about the events and heroes of the legendary Trojan War. Greek civilization reached its height around the mid-400s BCE. This period is known as the Golden Age of Athens, during which Greek society and culture flourished. Despite the Roman conquest of Greece about 140 BCE, the ideas and way of life of the ancient Greeks survived and spread throughout the Roman Empire. More than 1,500 years later, the pioneers of the European Renaissance revived the cultures of ancient Greece and Rome, and the modern era of Western civilization was born.